Cook was killed on the shore of Kealakekua Bay on Valentine's Day, 1770.
Yo, what? Yo, he went down there trying to them Hawaiians. Them Hawaiians was like, boy, you got the right one. Yo, how you get bodied on Valentine's Day?
Is where it all ended.
This is where he met his end.
And yet nearly 250 years later, Cook's story is still being told, revisited and revised as the age of imperialism.
Man, we smoking on that. Yo, blaze up, man. Captain Hook. Oh, my bad. Why I keep saying, look, it's not even think Cook, may you rest in piss, nigga. Why the hell they got that statue in Hawaii? And first of all, Hawaii is part of America. So, America, I know y'all pretend to care, so you might want to pretend to get that statue out of here. Captain Cook.
Has not aged so well. Statues of Cook have recently been toppled in Canada and Australia.
Yeah, lad. See, I just said Captain Cook, and they just said statue of Cook has been messed up in Australia and Canada. Yeah, we don't Captain Cook. Eat a dick, Captain Cook. Damn, I gotta shout out to the lads. Hold on. Shout out to the lads. Shout out to the lads. Your lads doing, mate. Hope you feeling good. Hope you feeling great. You clicked the title. You read the page. Captain Hook. Now, why I keep saying Captain Hook? Yo, I'm smacked. Captain Cook. Now, Captain Cook apparently discovered Australia. Now, that's what they say in the history books. I think he stole it. You know, I don't be believing when they be like one person discovered something. I think they be all cap. It's like they say Christopher Columbus discovered America. Cap. It's all cap. Graduation cap. Cap. So, I don't believe that, and I don't believe this. But today, when I was doing my Spain Yarn video, I learned a lot about Australian history. You guys know I'm a sucker for history, so we ended up here. So we're about to learn about this Captain Cook guy. Yo, handle some business. Now that that's over with, back to this Captain Cook guy who stole a bunch of stuff. So yeah, so we're about to learn a little bit of history. Shout out to CBS Sunday Morning, and this is actually an American news channel, so that's pretty dope that they actually covered this, because like, how come I didn't learn about Captain Cook growing up in school? I'm telling you, all they do is just force slavery on you. It's the only thing you really learn in American schools, bro. In public schools, at least.
His is a familiar name plenty of Hawaiians wouldn't mind eradicating from history. Ben Tracy explores the complicated legacy of Captain Cook.
On the big island of Hawaii, where the waves roll into Kealakekua Bay, a white obelisk 27 feet tall looms over the shoreline. It's a tribute to the great circumnavigator, Captain James Cook. It stands just feet from where he died.
I live right across from his monument, and I get up every morning and I see this. This is where they lived.
Akoni Palakat Nelson is a native Hawaiian, or Kanaka as they call themselves. He works for the Office of Hawaiian Affairs, advocating for the native people.
As a kid, what were you taught about Cook?
He brought a lot of diseases. He brought a lot of problems to our society. He introduced westernization.
Is there a frustration that a lot of people almost think the history began here with Captain Cook?
Yes.
Captain Cook is a controversial figure, villain or hero, colonizer or trailblazer, depending on who is telling the story. But what is not in dispute is that in the 1700s, the British explorer literally put much of what we now know as the Pacific Ocean on the map, creating detailed diagrams of the places he was the first European to discover, including New Zealand.
Okay. You see, they say he was the first European to discover. They didn't say he was the first person. You see how they try to throw that in there and take away from the Aboriginals? I can't stand these news report things. Nah, but he kept it a G though. But he could have said, you know what I mean? Then again, he kind of did say it without saying this. So shout out to this news channel though, because shout out to CBS. They kind of hit it on the nail.
Australia, the Cook Islands, which still bear his name, detailed diagrams of the places he was the first European to discover, including New Zealand, Australia, the Cook Islands, which still bear his name, and the islands of Hawaii.
Whatever you think about Cook, he's certainly in the pantheon of the greatest explorers of all time.
How the hell he... All right, so look, if he discovered Hawaii, right? Is that what let me just bring that back so we don't, I am a little blazed.
The map, creating detailed diagrams of the places he was the first European to discover, including New Zealand, Australia, the Cook Islands,
Oh, okay, I forgot. The first European, so he the first European to discover Hawaii. Got it.
which still bear his name, and the islands of Hawaii.
Whatever you think about Cook, he's certainly in the pantheon of the greatest explorers of all time. He gave us the contours of the Pacific Ocean.
Hampton Sides is author of the new book, The Wide, Wide Sea, documenting Cook's final and fateful voyage.
He had 3 voyages around the world. Each one was monumental. But the third voyage left England in...
He was racist. Tita, you can't say that. Why?
In July of 1776, just as the American Revolution was taking off.
What was this voyage supposed to be about? What were his marching orders from the crown?
So Cook's third voyage was to go around the Cape of Good Hope and then to proceed to the west coast of North America and all the way up to Alaska in pursuit of the elusive, the fabled Northwest Passage.
So on his way to trying to find the Northwest Passage, he stumbles upon these islands out here in the Pacific. What was his reaction?
He couldn't believe that he had found these.
See, here's the thing, right? Like, the older you get, you realize, like, oh, yeah, these people discovered these places that we live. Yay. And when you think about it, just imagine what would have happened if they didn't discover it. And we just all had to figure it out. It probably would have been a much better place. I promise you. You feel me? So it's like, did they really do a city favors or they just made it real money-wise? You discovered it and you put a price on it. Oh, okay.
These islands, first of all, they aren't on the maps. These aren't just little lowly atolls somewhere out there in the Pacific. These are massive volcanic islands with thousands and thousands of people living here, a whole thriving, flourishing civilization. He couldn't believe it. He was astounded. They were brought up here to this heiau, which is a sacred temple.
He showed us where Cook and his men came ashore on the Big Island, warmly welcomed by the native Hawaiians at this temple during a religious festival. Sides writes in his book that unlike many of his contemporary explorers, Cook took a genuine interest in the people he encountered. He treated them with respect, tried to prevent his men from spreading venereal disease, and made little attempt to convert them to Christianity.
And yet on his third and final voyage, something was wrong with Cook. He was mercurial, he was violent, he was cruel to the native people that he encountered as well.
Oh, okay. Okay, because a few minutes ago I said he was racist. And then he just, you know what I mean? Just, see? One thing about me, I'ma know.
He just was losing it.
I might not always know, but when I know, oh, I know.
All the time near the end.
That end came when Cook and his men overstayed their welcome, attempting to hold the King of Hawaii ransom to get back a rowboat taken by the local people.
And it turned into a brawl and a melee, and things did not go well for Captain Cook.
Cook was killed on the shore of Kealakekua Bay on Valentine's Day, 1770.
Yo, what? Yo, he went down there trying to fuck with them Hawaiians. Them Hawaiians was like, boy, you got the right one. Yo, how you get bodied on Valentine's Day? Listen, look, he got bodied on Valentine's Day.
And a melee, and things did not go well for Captain Cook.
Cook was killed on the shore of Kealakekua Bay on Valentine's Day, 1779.
Yo, he went down there talking about, this my land now. And they said, yeah, okay, you gonna walk around and found out.
Just across the bay there is where it all ended.
This is where he met his end.
And yet nearly 250 years later, Cook's story is still being told, revisited and revised as the age of imperialism.
Man, we smoking on that. Yo, blaze up, man. Captain Hook. Oh, my bad. Why I keep saying, look, there's no respect your name. Captain Cook, may you rest in piss, nigga. Why the hell they got that statue in Hawaii? And first of all, Hawaii is part of America. So, America, I know y'all pretend to care, so you might want to pretend to get that fucking statue out of here. Fuck Captain Cook.
Has not aged so well. Statues of Cook have recently been toppled in Canada and Australia.
Yeah, lad. See, I just said fuck Captain Cook, and they just said statue of Cook has been messed up in Australia and Canada. Yeah, we don't fuck with Captain Cook. Eat a dick, Captain Cook. Damn, I gotta blur that out. I'm wildin'. But that's how we feel about you, Captain Cook. Rest in peace, nigga. Yeah, you know how niggas be like, oh, we smoking on ops, we smoking. Yo, we smoking on Captain Cook. Look at this. Dead ass nigga.
His monument here in Hawaii defaced. Cook.
Exactly. Why would they give him a monument? Yo, my Hawaii niggas about to cut up. They already did, though.
Cook was the leading edge of what Pacific Islanders call the fatal impact and the death and loss of their culture that followed.
I get the fact that he has become a symbol of imperialism because he was the first. It's easy to just assign the blame on one person rather than all the people that
Captain Cook. Oh, all right, I know what y'all think.
Came after him.
Yet here on the Big Island, you still find Cook's name on a post office, roadside stands, and an apartment complex. There's no simple break from this piece of the past.
Historically, what is this area?
So this is called Kawalumalie.
This National Historic Park is one of the last places on the Big Island that still looks like what Captain Cook and his crew would have seen centuries ago. It was known as a place of refuge, where if you broke a rule or a law, you could get a second chance. Keola Awong is Chief of Interpretation and Education.
But does this in some way feel like a place, too, that is a second chance of preserving this history? All this history that existed before the stuff in the history book?
Yeah, I would agree with that. Yeah, so it's a second chance for us to get to tell our story, yeah, and tell it from our perspective.
She wants people to see Hawaii as more than a tourist attraction, more than white sands and scarlet sunsets, a place that existed long before it was discovered by a captain named Cook.
Exactly. Rest in peace, nigga.
When most tourists come to Hawaii, do you get a sense that they know much about the history?
No, they don't know much about the true history. I think they...
Yeah, I could bet your bottom dollar that if I ask any random hood nigga, because I'm a hood nigga, I ain't know. I'm like, Captain Cook, who? I ain't never heard of that nigga. Well, good, because he a thief anyway. I done heard about enough thieves in my life.
You see the history told by the Western point of view. Our culture is very much alive. Our culture carries on, it continues.
Man, fuck that nigga, B. Yo, I think I had too much to drink. Oh well, rest in peace, Captain Cook. That's enough of that chapter though. We ain't gonna learn about that nigga no more.